Girbeagly!
Hey there guys and gals, it's Girbeagly with another episode of Gaming with Girbeagly, and I'm once again playing the game Katawa Shoujo, and last episode we had a delicious lunch with both Rin and Emmy on the roof. We also went and visited the library briefly, and now we're back in class. Now, some of you were telling me that because I chose the option to race Emmy during the track race part, essentially, I'm now locked into her route. I did not know that that was going to happen. Fortunately, I did make that save back during that choice, which a lot of you have also said was a good idea. So I'm glad that I did that. We will be able to go back and run a different route as well in future episodes, but for this time being, I guess I'm just going to go and pursue Emmy. I do like her. She's very, very chipper, very, very cheerful, and she just has a positive vibe. So let's go ahead and see what happens with her storyline, if that is indeed true. I'm assuming it is because, like, 3 of you were like, what were you doing? But we'll find out. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. Hey, I have those sometimes. Like now. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. That really sucks to have, like, school on a Saturday, too. Come on. Like, I want some day of the weekend off. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the 2 empty seats behind me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it, I'm sorry. Muto closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt-trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Yeah, I don't mind Muto at all. He's firm, but he's very, very fair. Well then, I think that's all I really have to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend they were working on questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got him there. The class returns in the near silence that Muto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. Class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes through their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions, so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Oh, Hanako. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. Aw. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall, and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. She's like a scared little bunny. It's kind of cute. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. I have a feeling that if I had gone down the Hanako route as I wanted to, that something might have happened there. Maybe we would have talked, maybe we would have, I don't know, done something. Something would have happened. But maybe then again, that scene might not even have existed at all based on this direction that I've chosen. Unintentionally, but at the same time, I'm really, really interested to see what happens with Emmy as well. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. School is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. Excuse me, guys, I got the burpees. God dang it, stop giving me the burpees, guys. You wouldn't guess the school day's over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I'd do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in his room. Oh man, you really want to talk to Kenji right now? On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop.
Yo, hisso!
Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide as it seems it always is. I love the little cat face she gets. Like, she gets like the, like the upside down 3. Or not upside down 3, but like the tilted 3 sort of face. It's kind of cute. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she's examining me.
What you doing?
Nothing really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important.
That's perfect. Then you can help me and Rin.
With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help.
That's fine. I'm not much help either.
Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. She's gonna give him another heart attack. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor and to the seniors hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy had I known. So, is Rin working on that mural still?
That's right. She needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom. And you need to help me with...
And you need me to help you with that?
Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind.
I see. So, thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they've been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look at the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. Hey, I know the feeling. I'm super short. For those of you who don't know, I'm like mega short. I'm going to be meeting a lot of friends at PAX East, and they're going to find out just how short I am. This year, I'm going to visit my friend Yami Mash and Shane, aka Arrow in the Knee, and a whole bunch of other people who are coming to PAX East in March. I'm so excited, and I am just absolutely the shortest person alive, so this is going to be really weird. I totally get where Emmy's coming from. Like, you go, girl, with your bad freaking short self. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. Oh, I totally know that feeling. That's hashtag short people problems. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height.
You are not.
She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, she turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below, Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Maybe she thought she'd be taller, like, if she had actual legs, that, like if she hadn't lost her legs or hadn't been born without legs, maybe, honestly, that could be, like, a big part of it. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter's spoils, do I realize that it wasn't necessary the height jab that got Oh, it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. It's like 4:45 in the morning, and I have not gotten any sleep. So she might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart as she chatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and then make our way back to Rin. I like that. I like that when people can just forgive, like let it roll off their back, You're absolutely entitled to being angry about something, but as long as you can take that time and you can let it roll off your shoulders, like that's awesome. That's a great skill to have. I don't even have that sometimes, although I do my best to. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories.
Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier.
Is she going to make it?
No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy.
So she's like one of those stereotypical, cliched, tortured artists, it seems like. Who's like, oh my god, I gotta get this done. It's not perfect. I'm gonna explode. And like, pretty much every single artist I know is like that. Anyway. Sorry guys, I got the burpees again. The burps. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kind of unhinged, so to speak. Hemi giggles at that, as well as at my likely too obvious awkwardness or inability to read English.
I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes.
On that I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels so off about her. I don't think there's anything off about Rin. I like Rin a lot. She's just aloof, really. She's kind of like going with the flow. She doesn't have any major ambitions, or if she does, she doesn't show them and make them overbearing, which is actually really awesome of her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself, but really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp about for a properly descriptive word.
She's just weird. Earlier she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes.
She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is.
All that time.
The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird imaginary things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settled myself on a nondescript nice. Nice, dude. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground's littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy, as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying specimen of her war paintings, similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me and gleefully jumps in front of her.
I'm back!
That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again?
Hisao helped me.
Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around, following Emmy's fingers with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like a slow-motion movie.
Hisao... hello, Hisao. Thank you for the help.
Don't mention it.
I just did.
Never mind. Alright, and with that, guys, I think I'm actually going to end this episode. I need to get some sleep, and also we're running low on time anyway. But a lot happened as far as our interactions with Emmy go. If this really is the Emmy route, it's kind of cute so far. I like that it's sort of slowly developing. It's not like Hisao suddenly just made the choice to race with Emmy and it was all of a sudden out of the blue like, oh my god, I love Emmy, she's amazing. It sounds like he's really trying to get to know her and Rin as well. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button, share the video and favorite it. Also be sure to subscribe to me if you guys haven't already. For those of you who have, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you, and as always, it was great seeing you. Bye-bye. So if you guys can beat the high score that you just saw over on the high score table, please let me know down in the comments. Give it a try. It's over in Game Jolt. I'll put a link down in the description below so that you guys can download this game and play it yourselves. Wow, that was really ballsy of me to try to do that. Oh god, it's speeding up already. Ah, shit.